Linked learning, communicable diseases, Echo, Dulce, Patrick, Lindsay, and Christina. Role of the English teacher. English teachers can play many roles within a linked learning program. English language arts teachers can assist with teaching research skills. This includes aiding in the gathering of research materials, which can include both print source and other media texts. English language arts teachers can support students in the delivery of oral presentations for specific audiences. This involves training students in the use of different registers for a variety of different audiences and purposes. Students can be taught how to write persuasive essays, which provide supporting evidence from case studies. Coordination with ELA teachers for the purpose of writing research projects is recommended when proceeding with the linked learning curriculum. Students who become interested in pursuing a science-based curriculum or major may neglect developing their literacy skills while focusing entirely on a heavy science curriculum. Partnering students with an ELA teacher can help counteract any writing deficiencies a student may have. Possible subunits can include students reading nonfiction texts on outbreaks and discussing the book's major themes and literary techniques. Students will also explore how the development of human societies influence the evolution of microorganisms. This unit provides the opportunity for students to read and respond to historical texts related to the outbreak of Spanish flu during the 1910s.
These are the areas in which ELA instructions can be implemented. First, we have research papers. This is an excellent area because the teacher can introduce informative and/or argumentative writing style. Students can learn to inform or argue and introduce evidence and explanation in order to support them. Historical novels can also be a great area. They can learn about the origins of diseases, and they can demonstrate understanding through in-class assignments. Another area that we can study is current events. They can study articles and news in order to analyze and create connections.
Lesson plans, instruction, and assessment. One example of a lesson plan from this unit was the viruses versus bacteria lesson on page 23, which follows the following objectives. So to describe the physical structures of viruses, to describe the physical structure of bacteria, to explain the difference between viruses and bacteria as pathogens, and finally to recognize the strengths and limitations of various defenses against disease, including vaccines and antibiotics. This lesson plan clearly objectifies what the students are trying to learn, what the students will be able to do as a result of this lesson, and uses clear verbiage when writing it. The instruction methods used in this activity includes lesson springboards, multiple class discussions, providing students with informational handouts with accompanying lessons and lectures, and this will encourage students to take additional notes or annotate their page. The assessing tools utilized in this lesson include students completing the viruses versus bacteria worksheet, which students can then use for future study purposes, students completing the pathogen training card assignment, and students participating in the review game, which serves as a gauge of student understanding, which can help teachers reteach things that are not being understood as well the next day. Additionally, students could be asked to make three-dimensional models of their pathogen and present it to the class. Okay, moving on. Multidisciplinary curriculum design. It's going to have an overarching key question or theme which is referred back to throughout the lesson, like, how has the development of society influenced the evolution of microorganisms? All subjects working together to teach under the common theme/question. That means all school subjects. All lessons end with some sort of writing to demonstrate knowledge, just like this damn class.
Each lesson preceding 3.1 builds upon the overall knowledge of communicable diseases and contains its own key question. Curriculum ends with a presentation where students tailor their information based upon the class subject they're presenting in.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Dip, I'm sorry. Lindsay, meaningful work. All right, so the work and thanks, she's working it. The work, gosh darn it. The work follows Vygotsky's gradual release, where the teacher begins the lessons with direct instruction, and then works together with the students, then releases them to work together, and then assigns them to work independently. The background knowledge built by the teacher in all subject areas must be solid, and the support provided must be as well in order for a successful independent practice to occur. The big chance for independent practice comes in the form of a presentation at the end of the unit, wherein students are experts and impart their knowledge on their fellow classmates. The lesson plans themselves are not complex, but the topics that the students are asked to grapple with are: students are asked to read closely to be able to consume the material more easily so that they may be able to connect the dots between the knowledge in their hands and the bigger issues at hand.
Finally, bringing it all together. Curriculum is dependent upon all subjects' teaching materials to correlate to the overarching unit. Student success is dependent on cooperation between multiple disciplines. Background knowledge must be built across subject areas to create comprehensive understanding of the topics at hand and for seamless handoff between classes. Lessons must be purposeful, instruction must be guided and utilize the gradual release of responsibility,
Which is
and assessments must be varied. Would anyone else like to make another comment?
I'll talk about the gradual release of responsibility by Vygotsky, which follows the model of teacher does, students do with teacher. The next step is the students will do it with their peers in a group or small groups, if you will, pods per se, maybe 3 to 4 students per group. And then the final step of Vygotsky's gradual release of responsibility framework is that students will be able to do the activity alone, independently, if you will, which is the ultimate goal for us as future teachers, to create independent learners, have their learning autonomy fostered, to be able to do these things on their own. We're allowing and building scaffolds when they need, taking them back when not, and moving forward. Inspiring.
Thank you. This has been the Linked Learning Communicable Diseases presentation featuring Patrick, Echo, Lindsay, and Christina.
It's Lindsay, I'm sorry. And me, what the heck?
I said your name.
No!
And Dulce, if I forgot it. Thank you so much and have a great night.